Welcome to Finding the Fire. The fire inside is what drives us. Left unattended, it can burn out of control. In Finding the Fire, Cindy Jacobson speaks with guests, telling stories of trauma and triumph. In sharing our experiences, we find connection and understanding. Join her now as we burn through the walls of separation. Get ready for Finding the Fire, and let's find your spark.
We're getting it done.
I know. Like, we're just going whatever happens. And
Social distancing.
yeah, they're 6 feet. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but we're 6 feet apart.
So it's fine.
It's fine. No, but there's less than 10 of us in this room, and she's not sick and I am, so I'm good with it. Just kidding.
It's just a one-way street. Oh my gosh. So we've tried to take coronavirus off the topic and it's not going to work.
It just won't, and we can't bump the table.
It did not work. It won't work. We have to keep just keeps coming back.
Yes, every time we think, we're in the clear, then they put another regulation on us, right?
Mm-hmm. So here we are, day who knows what, and
it's like
our kids aren't at school. Everything's
who
getting.
knows what day it even is.
Yeah, so
There's
I'm
only
originally
3
from
days.
Washington State. They were started ahead of us, shelter in place. We're supposed to be in a not quite shelter in place, but our governor said stay home and stay safe. So I don't know what's coming.
Stay in your counties. You can thankfully for us, we have such amazing outdoor state parks and national parks that we're allowed to go to, but you're supposed to stay in your county. And I guess I even heard they were checking people at Snow Canyon.
Yeah, they don't even want people to even go to the parks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, it's what are you supposed to do? So of course it's what is the deal? Do you really think it's that contagious? I don't know.
So I saw these numbers. I'm actually going to pull them up, you guys, because I don't like to get into all this stuff normally, but it's on everybody's mind.
Choice.
It's on everybody's mind. And what else are you going to do? So, this is worldwide, mind you, worldwide deaths from January 1st of this year, worldwide. Coronavirus deaths is 21,297, which is a lot. Flu deaths since January 1st, same time frame, worldwide, 113,034 deaths. And then it lists a whole bunch more. Malaria is even higher than that. Suicides higher than that, almost double that. Traffic fatalities almost triple. HIV and AIDS, alcohol, smoking, cancer, abortion, all these numbers, you guys, are so much higher than coronavirus. So what is the real deal?
Right. Everyone's asking ourselves that, right? If a fraction of what the deaths are as compared to the flu or anything, why is there this scare? So it makes everyone go, okay, well, this doesn't make common sense to me anyways. I've talked to quite a few people and kind of getting them to weigh in, and I don't think any of us think it makes sense.
I agree.
Does it make any sense? If I don't, it's like a weird sci-fi movie. I don't have symptoms, but I can give it to you. I don't know. I understand the science of it, right? I get that. But it's just bizarre.
Yeah. I've actually done a lot of studying and research because I'm a nurse and I love to know the inner workings of everything. Mm-hmm. So what I've found out very recently, first of all, I want to put out there, and I think a lot of people are getting word of it now, but absolutely do not be taking ibuprofen right now, you guys. They have shown that ibuprofen makes this virus 10 times worse than typical if you take ibuprofen. And everybody that they have tested that has died of corona has had ibuprofen in their system, and everybody that has recovered has not.
Interesting.
So absolutely do not be taking ibuprofen right now. Tylenol, I guess, is okay, but let your body move through the fever is most ideal because that's how you build immunity. But if you need something, don't use ibuprofen.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I want to get that out there because that's huge. But then I started studying the workings of this virus, and it actually dies within 48 hours. The virus is not fast replicating as we're being told.
I've heard that. And I've heard also anywhere from it can live on metal for 3 weeks to no, you have to actually have a mucus, I don't know, like when someone gets a cough, like someone says sneeze on you or something like that to get it.
Yeah.
So I've heard all of different things. What do you know?
Well, one of the doctors in New York who's seen a lot of cases, you guys, I think New York is one of our biggest for the virus right now. And he's had a lot of time to study this. And he said the way it is transmitted is from your hands to your face. Hands to face. So mouth, nose, eyes, that is how it's transmitted. They said there's speculation out there that it's droplet precaution. That's why the 6 feet distancing, because if somebody sneezes, the sneeze has a ability to project out 3 to 5 feet. But he's saying that is very, very rare. You would have to be in an enclosed, airtight location, sitting probably as close as we are here for a long period of time in order to get it person to person without actually touching your face. So I don't know what's really going on out there. There's so much information. There's so much misinformation. And what I do know is fear is not going to help your immune system. Do not feed into fear, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Definitely do things to make you happy, whatever that is. If it's hanging out with your family, Netflixing and chilling, if it's hanging out in the sunshine. I know for me, I need the sun. And thankfully we live in a very sunny location.
Well, it's not always easy to not be fearful, right?
Right.
Especially when we look online and that's just kind of everyone's stuck in their house. So the numbers are in, like Facebook has increased 250 something thousand % of users.
Yes.
There was something about 66 billion hours of videos are streamed each day on Facebook. So it's like, as a business owner, if you're not on Facebook or Instagram, you're dead. Like, you might as well forget it. So it's like, it's hard not to, even if you're like, have to do that to make your business run, to not get the side wind or any like whisperings. Or I personally get distracted and I see articles pop up and then I read them and it's like, I'm not trying to be fear-based either, but then it's interesting to me because everything change. It seems like it's changing so fast.
Yeah, it does. It does. And every day is different. And, and I don't know if you've heard the rumors going around, but there's been rumors that we're going to have outages of certain natures, like the internet may go down, your phone service may go down. They're not predicting that electricity will go down, but yeah, and that's scary, you know, and that adds to the fear. And
you mean, you already have parents that are having to school their kids and moms and dads that are doing their life via Zoom calls, right? And then they're already on edge. Unfortunately, like some crimes like child abuse and child sex trafficking is going through the roof as well.
Domestic violence.
Yes, so it's hard to not see some of these statistics and not be fear-based, but I think there's some really good things that are happening too.
There's a lot of good things happening, you know, and there's always two sides to every story and then the truth, right? What we're being told and then what's really what they're doing and then the truth of all of it. And when it comes to light, you know, I just really feel like it's not going to be as doom and gloom as a lot of people are projecting, because there's a lot of people and conspiracy theorists out there on both sides. There's conspiracy theories on both sides, you guys, and you can go down any rabbit hole you want to. There's some pretty dark stuff going on with all of this that's going to be coming to light, which I'm actually happy it's going to be coming to light, but it's going to be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. But then there's the conspiracy on the other side too of it coming to light, and they have their own agenda bringing it out into the open. So whatever it is, like, just have, you know, I shared a post earlier today and I said, if you're feeling caged in, you're in fear, like, look up, shut down the news, shut down social media.
Yeah.
Turn it off and feel in your heart. Like, do you feel safe? Do you feel happy? Are you protected? Yes, a lot of people are worried about finances right now, but there's so many amazing things that are happening. I've heard, like, you can postpone any debt payments you have, including mortgages, for 3 months.
Yep. They
passed the bill giving a stimulus package to people, so they'll be sending out money. And
they're suggesting, like, if you have a business, whether it's, you know, being successful right now. I actually know quite a few business owners that have never made more money than they are right now. So some different industries are like skyrocketing and some just are not. So, but they're suggesting, even if your small business is thriving, go to SBA, apply for their grants. If you have a car payment, a house payment, anything, contact your credit cards and say, hey, I want a lower rate. And they'll like, I had a friend that did that yesterday. He's a business owner. He has over 10,000 employees. He's got tons of debt, but he was saying wealth, I guess at the same time, but he was saying he called all of his credit cards and said, I need a lower rate. I need a lower rate. And they were super nice.
Wow.
They were so nice. He goes, it was interesting. Everyone I called was like, oh my gosh, thank you for calling. And they were totally nice. And so he's like, I'm not in this red zone yet. Like I'm not out of money yet, but
it's better to be proactive.
Yeah. Once
reactive.
you're out of money, it's too late to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was really good advice.
That's
so just call your credit card companies and say, I want a lower rate, and they will.
Yeah. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. And I'm going to share that with my friends, and I'm going to link that to this too, because our hope on this podcast, you guys, and this podcast is like gone kind of sideways from what it's supposed to be. But right now this is the real world stuff. But our hope on this podcast is always to spread love and hope within people and not spread fear. There's so much fear mongering and spreading out there. And it doesn't feel good to my heart. And I have people call me every day like, Cindy, this is now being said. What do you feel about this? I'm like, you know what? Turn it off. Turn off the news. If the internet goes down, you guys, we're going to be okay. There's so many reasons. I've heard 50 ways to Sunday why the internet's being shut off. And some of them are scary and some of them are freaking awesome and everything in between. But if it goes down, we're going to be okay. The sun will still come out tomorrow, and just look up. So what I said in that post was, if you're feeling caged in, if you're feeling down, like put your phone down and look up. Yeah. Look up to the sun, look up to the sky, look up to, if you're, spiritual or religious, like feel into whatever you believe in outside of the noise that they are intentionally pushing into our ears and into our eyes through the news and through everything else. So, and
you're seeing so many stories of just love of just like your neighbor that people didn't have to do anymore.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like people are reaching out, wondering how each other's truly doing, calling each other, checking in, like doing a face-to-face. Like I've been FaceTiming my friends instead of just calling them. Like, I want to see your face. Are you okay? So there are some good things that we needed to learn. Like I personally need to slow down. And so it's just forced me to do
how long, first of all, how long have I been telling you to slow down?
Oh, I've always had that issue.
Yes.
It's never going to work.
And ever since we met, I'm like, girl, you need to slow down, slow down. And this was kind of a forced slowdown. And does it feel good? Does it feel good to slow down?
In some ways, yes. In a couple ways, yes.
Okay. We're always out to save the world, and Cammie has a big role in that. And
in a couple ways, yes.
Appreciate
in a few ways, I'm like, come on, let's get on with it. It's painful for me to sit still. Painful.
But you got to learn this,
Yeah,
we all need to. We have to be still within ourselves so we know what's true.
And I am loving teaching the kids.
Oh my God.
I am loving it. Like it's changing my whole this morning I'm on a conference call with 38 business owners and myself, and they called on me and I'm like bouncing my grandbaby and like feeding her yogurt. And so I turn the camera on and my hair's like, and everything's, and it's just so real. Like it's broken down a lot of ego.
Yes.
And it's like, we're all here. Like today we're in our houses doing our podcast. We don't get to be at the studio. Like it's just changing the paradigm, and that's good.
Oh, absolutely. It is good.
It's wonderful. Like I love that my friends in a different state get to see my real side of me.
Right.
Literally,
right.
like instead I was in pajamas.
Instead of always the dolled up version that we put out there to the world, right? Instead it's like, this is real life, guys. And
and like even at my elementary school that I'm the PTA president of, right? Riverside. I always give a little shout out for them. We're doing like a little parade on Thursday so the parents and the kids can drive by and just see their teachers and their, so it's like different schools are doing different fun things that they wouldn't have otherwise had to. Like there's really some really good things going on.
It's really making us all think outside the box and think of different ways to go about. Like just because we've always done it this way doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. And when I mean this way, the way we did it pre-shutdown, watch for what he's saying. He's going to give us some hand signals here. But just because we've always done it that way doesn't mean it's the best way. So this is making us all reflect on everything and be like, is there a better way we can do whatever it is?
Well, even just with the schooling thing, I was like worried, how are we going to do it? And my kids, like they're awesome. They stick to their set schedule that we've created as a family, and they're self-motivated. I'm like, this is giving me hope. Yes. They're going to be all right after all.
Yes. and same with mine. Was it you? Who was it? Oh, no, it wasn't you. But this morning I was talking to another friend of mine and saying, you know what? My kids did all on their own. And my kids are amazing. I love them. But they're 17 and 14. Okay. Teenagers like have an agenda of their own, and the stigma about teenagers is they're selfish and whatever. My kids all on their own yesterday came up with a chore chart for themselves to keep themselves accountable and to help our home run more smoothly without stress. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing,
So there's really like some amazing things I've noticed just in my own house too. Similar things like, wow, they're really amazing.
Exactly. And it empowers them when they come up with it on their own instead of like us telling somebody what to do,
And like when they're gone all day at school, the teachers get to see it and we don't get to see it. So I'm loving watching them in their element. Today I had a deep conversation with my high schooler about the coronavirus, about the stimulus package and the pros and cons. And we dug in really deep to the political side of it. And it was really fun to have these conversations with my kids instead of missing out on it. Because I know as a teacher, there's all these cool things I'd watch other people's kids do and be like, their parents would love to see this. Or, oh my gosh, the light just turned on. I wish their mom or dad could see us. And so now we get to have our kiddos home with us.
I know.
So
I know.
It's not easy. And I really do think that parents are probably worried that their kids aren't going to learn enough. And right now that doesn't matter.
No, learning how to be a family is key, you guys. We've gotten so far away from that. Yeah. And it's funny because I don't know if you guys have been outside in your neighborhood, but it's like more people are outside with their kids, and mind you, they're social distancing. They're staying 6 feet away as you talk to your neighbors. But so many of them have said, you know what, I wanted to homeschool. I wanted to be home with my kids. And this made us do it, like before we thought we couldn't. We were in the rat race, right? We were on the hamster wheel, just going as fast as we could and could not step off, or that hamster wheel wouldn't run,
happen, right? Yeah.
And now we're forced to step out of that hamster wheel and slow down and take time for those things that are truly important. And
so that is like the hope of it. Like there is just all this uncertainty. We don't know what's going to change, when, whose border's going to close, what's going to happen, if the stores are going to stay open. It doesn't matter. Like we have our families.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. We have our families. We have ourselves, we have our health, as long as we're abiding by the guidelines. But you guys, even if you do get coronavirus, there's so much good information out there on how you can kick it out of your system. There's actually a proven cure to medications that you can take together. The FDA approved it, so it's now completely fine to prescribe by doctors. I know there was threat of some doctors that if they prescribed it, they would be in trouble, but the FDA approved it. In I think in 24 to 48 hours, it's completely out of your system with this.
And I think maybe that is the issue with the coronavirus or COVID-19 is it goes really fast, but it goes away really fast.
Yes.
And so I could be wrong there, but does that sound maybe right?
Yeah, that's right. And so they tell you, if you're relatively healthy, to stay home and your body will do its thing and build an immunity, which is the ideal way to go about it. You want to build an immunity to it. But if you are immunocompromised, or if you're elderly, or if you're young, and if your symptoms are really severe, then definitely go in and ask for the treatment, because it will cure it.
I did hear they're doing another thing. Have you heard about this? They're coming out with daily test kits.
Yes, home test kits even. Like you can swab yourself at home. So this is so amazing. And our numbers here in the U.S. have skyrocketed, and that scares a lot of people. If you're listening to the news, you hear the numbers are skyrocketing in the U.S. and it's so scary. But really, why they're skyrocketing is because we are testing at a faster rate than any other country to get a actual grasp on the true numbers, because and a lot of people have been saying this, and I said it way before it even hit the US, but I'm like, I feel like I've already had it. Like we had a severe flu in our house,
and lots of people did this year.
And a lot of people did, and a lot of people are like, and there's this lingering cough that just never goes away, and it feels like it came back, and like everybody was talking about all these symptoms of COVID-19 before COVID-19 was even on our radar. And now that it's on our radar, everybody is worried about it. But so these rapid testing, these home kits, in the U.S., we are testing at a higher, faster rate than any other country. So we'll actually have a good handle on the true statistic of the mortality rate of this particular virus.
Yeah. And from what I understand, if you get it, you don't instantly die.
No.
Like I've read cases of like a 17-day-old baby that beat it without any medications.
Right.
Like if you're a healthy person, you're going to be fine.
There was a 102-year-old woman in Italy, you guys, that she was given the medication, the dual medications, but she recovered. 102.
Yeah.
And she recovered.
So it's like this fear-based panic that we get fed from the news. Yes, there's a virus out there. There always has been viruses out there.
Yes.
There always will be. But there, in my mind, there's got to be something else going on.
Yeah.
There's got to be something else going on.
Always...
But that's just me. That doesn't mean jack squat. That's just my own.
You know, I never used to be a conspiracy theorist, but lately it's like my eyes are being open more and more to certain things. And so I'm like, okay, like the fact that there's a virus like every voting year. Like
there's different things like that.
I mean, there's just too many coincidences that eventually there's something else, some other agenda out there.
And most Americans do think, okay, what else are we hiding, or what else are we maybe not even hiding, but what is going on that you're not telling us?
What's truly going on? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information you can find if you go searching too, and a lot of it's true, but a lot of it's still speculation, and we'll just have to wait and see. But
yeah. Definitely. And it can be a little scary, but it can also be really helpful and hopeful too.
Yeah, definitely hopeful. In the end, like I've said since this started, I said, you know what, I don't know what's going on, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. But at the end of it, it's going to be beautiful. I just have I've always had intuition on things. And this is something that I have intuition on, that once we get to the other side of this, it's going to be amazing. And right now, like, please don't live in fear. You're going to be okay. If you do get sick, there is treatment. If you don't have a job right now, there are steps out there to help you. You won't be kicked out of your house. You won't, you're not going to suddenly be homeless and foodless and jobless. And if you have no food, like, knock on your neighbor's door. I'm sure somebody out there would help you. Just remember to look for hope, spread hope, not fear. And if the internet does go down and the phones do go down, take that as time to reflect in yourself. Do some meditation, do some prayer, do some family bonding time, play some board games. We are
plant a garden.
Loving...
We're trying to plant a garden.
Yes.
I suck at gardening.
I'll come help you because I don't have a place to garden.
Bad. I know. Like I'm afraid to even breathe on it. Like oh my gosh, I'm so scared to plant this thing. And so we did the boxes. We made the planter boxes this weekend. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too, because I'm going to come raid your garden.
Come raid it. It's going to be all rotten and it's going to be all dead.
Oh, no.
No, I can't think like that, but I just don't know how to do it.
You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out, you guys. So if you guys have any input or insight, we would love to hear the comments, what your feelings are on this, and
Absolutely.
what you've seen in a positive light. I would love you guys to share anything positive that you have seen come from this whole mass shutdown of the world. It's not just the U.S.
Yeah,
it's the whole world
really
right
sad
now.
that it's like the American dream's getting stomped on, but there's amazing things.
Yes.
And out of every recession, something amazing is built or born. Like out of the last recession, Uber and Venmo started.
Wow.
All these different services. So, I mean, this is an opportunistic time for us to look for ways to invent stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's prime pickings right now, you guys. So, so definitely, if you are on social media, don't spread the fear stuff. Spread something positive. I've seen people sharing landscape pictures or things like that. And just spread some love, you guys, spread some light.
I do feel like that's all that matters.
That's truly what's important.
Because just a little speck of light, you can see in a total sea of darkness.
Yeah, absolutely. All you need is one little sparkle somewhere. And look outside of your filter of what you're looking at. If you're feeling dark, look up and look outside.
And who can you help?
Absolutely. Helping someone else brings joy and love and to not only them, but you.
If you want to come help me plant a garden.
It's almost I love helping other people when I'm my most sad, and it's almost not in a selfish way, but it is, because I get filled up just as much, if not more, than the person I'm helping.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So as you look at your neighbors, offer them a mask if you have any.
Yeah.
If you have any, like you'd be the nicest neighbor if you just dropped off hand sanitizer and a roll of TP.
Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure everybody has TP by now, I hope.
I don't know. A lot of the stores are still bare.
Either that or somebody's garage has them all in it, but I'm sure somebody can share. Or get a bidet, you guys. Like after being out of the country, like those are the best. So you won't even have to worry about toilet paper at that point.
I did have my friend, her husband put one in. I was like,
Oh, they're nice. My daughter finally is like, Mom, can you put one of those in my bathroom? Because she was afraid of it at first. Like she hurried and shut the lid and ran thinking it was going to attack her, but now she wants one. So, oh yes.
We need some Dixie radio.
We have some. We'll wear them on the radio show when we do. Tune in at 4 for the radio show, you guys. What's the
Radio Dixie 100.3?
100.3 Radio Dixie at 4 p.m. And we are going to be spreading some love and light. Then we are going to have Dr. Richard Paul Evans, author. See you later. Should have plugged
You've
that
been
sooner.
listening to Finding the Fire, where we are finding deeper connections through sharing our life experience. Being placed in foster care, losing a child to SIDS, and a husband to suicide, Cindy has turned her story into the fuel that drives her. To be featured as a guest, go to findingthefire.com. Cindy is a former NICU nurse, a foster parent, has started a nonprofit, helps others, and supports her family by selling real estate. To find out more, go to involvedcommunity.com.